And we're back. And if you're joining us right now, we are going to be talking about some trending talks because it is Tuesday. That means it's Trending Talks Tuesday. And that's where I give you a little rundown of some of the trending social media topics which people have been talking about over the past week. And the first topic is that this weekend we saw a lot of new music releases. That has been trending all over social media, and there have been a lot of new releases by certain artists. And as you can see on the screen, Bad Bunny released a new album, Un Verano Sin Ti. It has been getting lots of buzz. The reggaeton star has been, building anticipation for a long time, and the album finally came out last weekend. We also saw the album of Jack Harlow, which finally came out. That's been getting some mixed reviews, but definitely a lot of social media buzz as Jack Harlow has been getting over the past year or 2 years. So we also saw yesterday the release of a new music video from Kendrick Lamar, The Heart Part 5, and that one generated a whole lot of buzz because of the images. The entire video is his video changing faces to very famous black men, so it appears that he's rapping the lyrics of the songs from the different perspective of these gentlemen. So of course it was a lot of powerful imagery. So the video started making the rounds yesterday, and of course it generated lots of buzz. And we're expecting a lot of more in the music world, but because we got so much new music this weekend, that is the first thing that I wanted to mention very briefly. So of course, if you haven't heard any of it yet, and these are some of your favorite artists, now is the time because they've got lots of new music. Now, the next big topic which people have been talking about all through the week, I should say, is that last week Monday, while we were having a holiday for Labor Day, it was in New York fashion's biggest night, and that was the Met Gala. Of course, it happens every May, and it is the Costume Institute for the Metropolitan Museum of Art which hosts the party. And of course, it is a huge night for fashion. This year's theme was Gilded Age Glamour, and there weren't many looks which reference the exact Gilded Age time period, but of course all of the big fashion looks always generate a lot of buzz. Probably the most talked about look from last week was the image which you're seeing right now. That's Blake Lively wearing a Versace dress, and of course it is supposed to be referencing the New York architecture and the Statue of Liberty, and of course it had this big dramatic change on the carpet when it changed color from the original sort of bronze copper kind of color to the green color. And of course that is another reference to the Statue of Liberty, which was originally brown, but over the years, due to the oxidization and the seaside, it actually turned green. So that was a really interesting one. So there were a lot of other looks, and there we have Bad Bunny, who is in Burberry, which was kind of a humorous take. He seems to be wearing sort of referencing female clothes from that time period. But it was a pretty funny one, and so he probably had the most, his look for the males generated the most buzz. We've got some of the Kardashian sisters there, Kylie Jenner. Kim Kardashian, of course, made a lot of headlines for her dress because she actually wore a dress which was famously worn by Marilyn Monroe when she famously sang that Happy Birthday, Mr. President. So Kim Kardashian actually wore Marilyn Monroe's actual dress on the red carpet and then changed into a replica. And then we also have Lizzo, who you just saw, and she also made was for her look. But of course, there were tons of celebrities, tons of fashion, and of course, it was great to see all of the creativity, all of the looks on display. We didn't see Rihanna, we didn't see Zendaya, some of the people who usually make a lot of headlines, but of course this year's one was also great, and I think Blake Lively probably took the crown for that night because she's getting the most buzz. Now, another thing which made a lot of headlines was that Dave Chappelle, the comedian, was performing in Los Angeles last week at the Hollywood Bowl when, right in the middle of his set, some angry, well, I don't know if you want to call him a protester or what, stormed the stage, actually tackled Dave. And then, as you can see right now, there's the video from TMZ. It also made its way to TikTok. And then, of course, his security team then found the assailant and definitely had their way with him. There was a lot of memes, and I think we just saw one on the screen about how he was left after. There are pictures, if you go look this up on Twitter or any other social media. It's pretty brutal how he looked after that. And of course, one of the other things which made news about that incident is that right after Dave Chappelle was tackled by this guy, Chris Rock came out and said, "Hey, was that Will Smith?" So it was a full circle moment. Of course, we don't want to see this becoming a trend where comedians are going to be getting physically assaulted, but that did happen. It made a lot of headlines, but luckily Dave was okay. Everybody seemed to be able to laugh it off. And there was news that the person who did rush the stage wasn't going to be facing any federal felony charges, but we'll see if there's anything else which comes from that. And our final trending talk is a video that went viral just yesterday, right here on Belize Facebook. And as you can see, it's a video of somebody approaching the flag monument roundabout right in the center, and somebody was clearly driving up stop, and I don't know if they're reversing just because they got caught or whether they didn't. Maybe they took a wrong turn and they didn't realize, but it went viral on Facebook, and it generated thousands of views in the first instance. And as you can see here, it also made its way over to Instagram, and you could see, TikTok, Twitter, and I hope nothing happened, but I wonder what was going through that guy's head, because I did see it yesterday as it initially came out, and it's only been getting more views since then. But those were just the trending topics for this week. So that's what people were talking about, both in Belize and abroad. So
your first thought was that they took a wrong turn.
Well, I don't know. The thing is, I was trying to figure out what was going through his head, but
I thought, something stopped working with his car and reverse is the only option. So he was trying to get to the mechanic or something.
True, could have been like that.
It's all possible, but yeah, that was really interesting. Or somebody just said, watch me blow up on Facebook by doing this thing.
Yeah, every now and again we get a video like that.
Somebody knows the backstory there. By all means, share it with the rest of us, because we're all curious to know why.
I know, right?
Yeah. All right, well, Gavin, thank you for that with Trending Talks for today. And thank you to all our guests who came in.
Yep. We had a great show. We want to say thanks to the nurses who came in, Nurse Bowman and Nurse Valdez, as we celebrate Nurses Week. We also started off our show with a conversation with representatives from the Labor Department. And of course, our final segment was with Belize Friends School. So we want to say thank you to everybody who came into our studio this morning.
That's right. And remember to tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 when you open your eyes.
Start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your heart open.
We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, Belize.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.